Joey.
Hello, this is Gwen.
Hi, my name is Sue.
Today we're here to share with you about Phase 2 of Phonics for Educators.
That's right. And welcome back to those who joined us last week. Today will be more interesting and more insightful. So we're going to leave Sue to do the talking as usual. So we'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you so much, Gwen and Joey. Thank you for joining us today. So let's get started. So phase 2 is all about letters and sounds. So in phase 2, your children will begin to learn sounds and how to match them to grapheme, which is the letters. Okay? So in phase 2, you will learn mainly single letter sounds and several digraphs. This is where kids will distinguish between one sound can be represented by 2 letters. So we're going to start with 5 sets of letters in over 5 weeks, and they will learn over 19 representation of these letters. Okay, so if you remember, in phase 1, your children or your students gone through 7 aspects of listening skills. So hopefully they'll build it up and then proceed on to phase 2. Now, in phase 2, we will go through 5 sets of sounds. Okay, and we'll go through this really quickly. It's basically just matching the sounds to the letter. If you've known it in other words, it is grapheme and phonemes. Okay, those are just fancy words. So if you notice at the bottom, these are the 19 sounds, 19 representations of these sounds. So we'll go through these sets of words, so you can go through it with your students or your kid at home and do it systematically so that they can remember how these words work, and there's no conflict with sort of alphabets like B and D, there's no confusion. So these are recommended, again, depending on what your student or your child needs. So set 1 is the So these are some examples of what you can do with your kids in class. For example, you can do I Spy, so you're identifying words with initial sound S, as well as matching the letters. If you notice with T, so that's tap and tin, so they associate the visual with the words. Now, in set 2 is the I, D. So if you notice, B will come slightly later. Okay, so again here we will have I Spy activity. So you can do after set 1 and 2, what you can do is you can do a culmination of all these sounds, which is S, T, P, I, N. Okay, you can continue on with the and D as well. So you have a collection of all these pictures, all these words, and you can match them to all these 6 sounds or more. Okay, so again, this is set 2 of these sounds. So we'll move on to set 3, which is G, O, S, K. Okay. And another activity you can do is a phonics bingo. So here what you should watch for is the trickies and G, which has both soft and hard sounds. Now, there are many rules to this. At this stage, you should introduce why some words have soft sounds and why some words have hard sound. So a quick rule would be soft and G is usually followed with E, I, Y. With hard sound, it would follow with O, A, U. Okay, there are more rules, and at this stage, for your child, you should just introduce some of these rules. So, for example, scent would sound very different from cop, or city would sound very different from cat. Just as gem is not produced the same way, the sound, as, for example, goat. Okay, so just something to be aware of when you introduce this sound or these letters, grapheme, to your child. Now, set 4,
again, various variation of what it looks like, but it sounds the same. So you have another K, and you have E-U-R. Okay. So one of the activities you can do is you put, again, a good revision is you put some of the K sounds together with the CK. Yeah, so a match would be good. So if they're able to identify the word with the visual, they can do lines. So it also helps with their motor skills. Right. And finally, set 5. If you notice, so if some of the words are spelled with double L, for example, it sounds the same as if it's spelled with a single L. So again, now it's awareness of why words sound the same, but they look different. So this is, again, part of phase 2, tricky words. We'll go through that in a bit later. Okay. So some phonemes can be represented by more than one grapheme. Okay, so if you notice here, a flower, the F in the flower sounds exactly the same as the F, double F in muffin. Okay, so introduce these differentiation in spelling, but it sounds the same. All right, so after you've gone through these initial sounds with your students, it's time to, at this stage, introduce some difficult words, okay? And also do revision so you can build on the grapheme and phoneme knowledge so they can practice, and they're taught to read VC and CVC sounds at this point. Now, tricky words are when phonetically they can't be read as it is seen. For example, no and why. I is very different from this I. For example, I like orange versus I have a pair of eyes. All right. All right. So hope to see you again next week. So we will proceed on with phase 3. Yeah, again, another 12 weeks. You can go through each set of words and the introduction of consonant and vowel digraphs. So another 25 graphemes. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have learned quite a lot from our phase 2, and we hope to see you for phase 3. Thank you. Good luck.